Good morning. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we have some slides here. Hold on just a moment. That wasn't me. All right, thank you very much for coming here, and welcome to Canary Wharf. This is my first time here. Beautiful play area. Who am I? My name is Dana Coe. I did the cryptographic back end for a, you could call it an altcoin called Aureus. This is predominantly used in Southeast Asia, in Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, and such. It actually has about 70,000 users at this time. Okay. Why did we make this coin? Well, it's got an interesting history in that it grew out of a community of people who were in one of these investment scheme things that people have. That imploded, okay? This was years ago. And then the government sort of corralled everything together, handed it to an adjudicator and said, why don't you clean this up and give all the money back to the people, okay? All of the people in the community for this Aureus coin, they said, no, well, we were promised a crypto coin. We actually want one. Okay, so then I became involved in it. We built an actual coin for them, a block explorer, a chain, wallet, everything. It's a pretty basic coin, but it's designed for consumer use. Quick resolution, low fees and such. The main thing that makes it work is that we already have a built-in user base of, you know, tens of thousands of people, which makes a good network effect of people just keep using it. Now, what happened to bring any value to this is that, here, let's see, what's our next slide? How do we go forward on this? Okay, yeah. The coin is actually backed by what's called a Bitcoin reserve. We have it at a lawyer firm here in town in London, registered with them in a cold storage. It's 15,000 Bitcoins that backs the Aureus currency. The Aureus currency is completely pre-mined, okay? This is the idea that where the name of the talk comes from. Have your cake and eat it too, okay? You have your cake in that it's pure crypto, okay? Open source, downloadable, anybody can run it. But the distribution of the coin itself is not done through mining. It's done through managed distribution. Say if you're already part of the Aureus community, then every month or so you get some given to you depending on how much you already have in your accounts. It's actually variable. We can change it around however we want, okay? But it doesn't cost, people don't actually buy it. They're just given it. It's a little complicated, but it's also not complicated in that we just manage it, okay? That's how we can control the levers of the inflation of the demand or not. But people still use it. They don't invest in the coin. There is really no such thing as that for this. It's more that they actually use it to buy things on the street, believe it or not. Most of the people using this coin are, say, in Vietnam, where their national currency right now is kind of iffy. Okay, so people actually use this to buy consumer products on the street like you would with Alipay or PayPal or here in Europe you mostly use the contact card, correct? Okay, well, I got a little off there. Okay, yeah, so we converted what was essentially just a database of people on a website swapping coins back and forth into a pure crypto so that they have their own wallet and they can use it among themselves. Let's see, what's next here? Yeah, we started earlier this year. The coin was actually, the blockchain started in January, and it's been running ever since then. I would say, runs about a dozen transactions a minute. Okay, so it's being used. Now, when I said pre-mined, it's a 21 million pre-mined coin, which I believe 90% of those are going to be given out to the participants of it. If they're already in the community, then it gets distributed to them, and then they can do with it what they will. Okay? There's no ICO. We're not taking any money for it, period. We just give it away to the users that are already there. Let's see. How do we? One of the features of the project is that we monthly give Bitcoin dividends to people who have Aureus coins in their wallets. The more of those that you have, then you receive actual Bitcoin dividends, which are paid out to you in Bitcoin. Now, how do we do that? We take the 15,000 that we have here in escrow, and we use that as a basis for, well, different financial methods, such as there are ways to do, like, say, insurance against other people's investing and such, where we underwrite some other person's use of coins. So this is sort of like a backstop for somebody else who is wanting to invest their coin somewhere else. That's one of the products that we have. Let's see. Why did we do this? Yeah, that's a damn good question. Yeah, you have 15,000 Bitcoins. Why are you doing this? Believe it or not, it's kind of altruistic. That the people who were originally in the Aureus community, they got kind of ripped off by the original people doing this. This was a couple years ago. We stepped in, we picked up the pieces, and decided, let's put something together so they can actually use it, so they actually make something out of it. Now, they are, and they're receiving value. So the users are pretty excited about it. So we think it's an experiment, like all of these things are. Okay? I think it might work out. The people are actually using it in everyday use, which is frankly kind of rare, honestly. Most of these coins and such, or most of these tokens, are traded about back and forth. What does does anybody actually buy something with these things? I mean, how many people actually buy a physical thing with Ethereum? Anybody here? Have you ever bought anything physical? Good. At least we got 1%. Bitcoin. Just a question. Somebody asked me this the other day. How many people in this room have bought something physical, not another coin, with Bitcoin in the last month? Okay, that's good. That's what, about 40% maybe. So there, your question's answered. Let's see. What else have we got here? Yeah, it's an experiment that responded to market demand. People asked us to make it. They wanted to get their original investment back. So we built this structure that we think is accruing value for the users. And it's also useful. Any questions? I'm sure you'll be like, what on earth is this guy talking about? Please, ask something. Oh, come on.
So I'm not sure if maybe you said this in the beginning of your presentation. I wasn't exactly in the room, but my question would be, how do you intend to scale this? So let's say that your project picks up a lot of people that actually want to trade your token, but you're backed by a reserve of some Bitcoin. You intend to scale it based on increasing your value on the same reserve, just like any other cryptocurrency on the market, or do you have some different mechanisms? Are there going to be created more tokens in the future?
No, it's hard capped at 21 million. It's the 15,000 Bitcoin essentially builds a floor. Yeah. Okay. This is something I didn't mention. The community has a mechanism, whereas if the community decides, well, say if Bitcoin goes to 100,000 each, okay, they might go, okay, that's enough, liquidate it. And if the community votes to liquidate the Bitcoin reserve, it gets proportionally divided among all the people that hold. Yeah. Okay. So that's essentially what the use is. It's a floor, so that it isn't just completely worthless.
Any last questions? No?
Who owns these 21,000 Bitcoins? Where do they come from?
They're just created from, oh, you mean they're pre-mined? Yeah. Oh, the Bitcoins, the 15,000?
Who owns these Bitcoin, or who basically put in these 21,000
No. 15,000 bitcoins. Yeah. That was some sort of community. No, it was a community lending program. One of these, share and share like things, running in Malaysia and Vietnam that imploded, and this was what was left over that was confiscated by the government. And then they said, okay, here, you guys are trustees, do something with this to make these people whole. And, well, that's where we are. So in 6 months, customers are happy, the users are happy. We made something good out of something that could potentially be bad.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I'm not much of an expert, but I don't quite understand how are you funding this project? Are you monetizing this idea at all?
We did have some money in excess of the 15,000 above that was used to actually fund physical typing in and development
Sure.
and running servers and
Because
such.
you said you're not doing an ICO.
Nope.
There is no subscription
Nope.
for the platform. So you're doing it more for
Essentially, we're
community
paying
for
for it
fun.
out of what we were given for the the bucket of money that we were given to. Okay, here, distribute to all these people. They said, okay, well, we'll take part of this, a small part of it, and use that to actually create this ecosystem so that they can use that and use the rest as the backing.
Okay. One final question, if you don't mind.
You said the coins are distributed between the initial participants. Is there any possibility to also to install a wallet and to become a part of the community, or is it closed?
No, there is. If you go to Aureus CC, which you might see, it's right here at the top and on all your bags. There'll be more details there. Okay, so that can be, you can participate there. That's not really my designation as the business side of it, as how that is pulled in. That's right now we do sell the tokens, but it's more of not a direct method. Okay, they're not listed on exchanges yet. That will happen probably within the next couple weeks.